12:05, all right. Call this meeting to order. Start off with a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Start off with roll call. Victoria?
Chairman Jose D. Gonzalez,
Present.
Mr. Roberto Santos,
Present.
Mr. Hector Cortez,
Present.
Mr. Carlos Gordillo, not present. Ms. Melissa Peña, Mr. John C. Galo,
Present.
Mr. Juan Benavides,
Present.
and Ms. Maria Guevara, not present. So you have a quorum.
Motion to excuse. Do we do that? Motion to excuse or everything? I don't do that.
Wait, wrong place
No,
again.
it's yours. It's
Oh, okay.
It's the other way.
You're good.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, we've never done it before, but.
You can make a motion to excuse if you wish.
It doesn't count, right?
No.
Yeah, all right.
Still happening.
I mean, we appreciate you trying to be nice to the people absent, but we're still an absent though.
All right, with that being said, the minutes were already submitted. Motion to approve the minutes or discussion on them.
I have a move to approve them if there's no changes.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Ms. Santos, okay. Any questions, comments, discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Any opposition? Motion passes. All right, citizens' comments, we're limited to 3 minutes. Are there any citizens' comments, or?
Nothing has been submitted.
Okay.
Have we ever had any?
Yeah. Long time. Once in a while. We'll move forward, okay? Moving right along, just on time. Staff reports.
All right, Mr. Chairman, we'll start off with the passenger report. We're having so far a good year. I mean, we had a little drop on the month of March compared to last year, but basically the numbers are still the same with 23,000 passengers in plane. And the plane number is just basically the same. So last year was our best year so far. So we're just in line with those numbers. Let me just add that this week the third flight from United started back. So we have a third flight now starting this week. And we've seen a lot of more people in the terminal, so hopefully those numbers will start to pick up.
Is that flight midday, right?
Yeah, midday. So we have one in the morning, midday, and afternoon.
And these are actual passengers, not seats? right?
Yes, passengers. So next month we'll have the fourth flight from American Airlines. So I mean, hopefully things keep getting better here on the numbers. For
You also said last month that they were gonna add bigger planes as well.
Yes, they are in the Embraer 175, I believe so, which has more first class seats and more regular passengers too. So,
What do you mean first class seats? The other ones don't have any first class seats.
well, business class.
Business class.
Not even any business class either. I mean,
American does.
Oh.
American does.
Yeah.
The American does business class.
Not United. United also is going to upgrade the planes to CRJ's 200s, which is a little bit better than what they currently have, though. But I don't think they will have any business class just yet on United. So moving on, there's a report by airline. Here, basically, the only one that has American has a slightly decrease from 13,000 to 12,000. United has an increase from 6,300 from last year to 7,000 this year, 7,629. Allegiant has the biggest increase. Right now they have 3,221 passengers. Last year, at the same time frame, they had 2,600. So Allegiant is doing pretty good. On the meeting I had with them in Vegas, they were very happy with their numbers. They're getting more planes. So hopefully, they say there might be look good to add back the Orlando frequency, but until next year. Everything's committed for this year already, but they're happy with the numbers they're currently having. Obviously, you can tell by the numbers that they're doing pretty good here in Laredo. So moving on cargo reports, well, we keep seeing an increase on the cargo overall. I mean, we had a slightly decrease on the same month, but we're still 6% above from prior year. I don't know if you saw on Facebook, we have Amazon Prime now flying here with their own planes. So I mean, just things keep getting better on the cargo side. So we're hoping we can continue that trend. We keep marketing, and we're gonna do as much as we can to keep that trend alive.
What about, I know it's a long ways off, but they talk about the cargo field over there by Columbia
The cargo,
Airport. I mean, just to build an airport, how long would that take?
Columbia, or is it out there, Mile 13? Mile 13, right?
the Mile 13, that's for the cargo airport. I don't see that happening in our lifetimes right now.
You didn't
Probably
hear
my
on Mexican side? I heard one
on the Mexican,
side.
the one on Colombia.
Yeah.
I mean, how long will it take to build an airport, Mr. Laura?
It will take years to build a new airport, you know that, because all the studies and the environmental. And
No, we're talking Mexican side. They don't have that.
Well, they have to do that, supposedly, right?
Supposedly.
No, Mexico will just go and build it, that's it. Here we have to go through FAA,
Yeah, no, I'm talking about
environmental,
Mexican side.
No, but
air side studies and everything, yeah. It will take years to build a new airport.
yeah, no, and even on the Mexican side, I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. So.
Well, in the, what was it, Tesla and Apple, or who?
Tesla is the one opening on
Monterrey.
Monterrey. Yeah, but I mean, we'll still get the benefits of the people
Okay.
crossing here.
I know it's a long ways out.
For all the custom brokers here, I mean, I don't need to tell them. They're probably already on top of that, taking the business. So moving on the FIS inspections, as you see, the numbers are pretty steady, as we mentioned. Compared to last year, the only one that's with the same issue as before is ANAM. They had zero operations for the month of April. So that's, I don't know if they call it sad or something else, but it's pretty bad.
Couple of questions on that. I know that I've been having discussions on a national level, and they're saying that they're looking at opening up a same operation out there in Arizona, Nogales area, or somewhere else.
So Nogales,
And
And,
you guys are aware
in
of it.
Nogales?
Yeah, or somewhere near either
No,
Arizona or Colorado,
that's in
or
Mesa.
California.
That's near Phoenix,
Near
the
Phoenix,
airport.
okay, yeah.
They've been trying to get it done, but they haven't done it yet.
But I hear that's progressing because of our numbers. And the second thing is the UPS is also in discussion to find out what's going on. I know it's TSA issue, but
Yeah.
I know one of the concerns is because there won't be no direct flight, so US is trying to hold on them
They're-
because they want to go to, UPS wants to go to Louisville, and then from there back to Mexico saying that's not a,
yeah,
they have to go direct.
that's the current issue that we have right now, that they want to fly to Laredo, check the packages, and then go fly back to their hub. And in their hub, TSA might open the package, so that might be a breach of the logistical chain that will have that package pre-clear from Mexico, because the seal will be violated. So as much as there's so little that we can do right now, because it's at the TSA level, Washington, and they say the request needs to come from an actual carrier that's going to do that. I don't know why UPS hasn't done it, but they have not, and FedEx or DHL, they're not on board on this program yet. I mean it's open to anyone, but the request needs to come from corporate UPS, FedEx, or DHL, not from the airport director or the city or anyone here.
But
Right now, it's
is there numbers for to make it worth their while, or no?
Not right now, because of the fact that the five
Yeah.
commodities, they gotta expand that, because
Yeah.
it would be worthwhile if Amazon would be allowed to go ahead and start doing some of their commodities.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then that's why they're not looking at that direction. But there is a pilot program with UPS, and they just got shut down because of TSA.
Yeah.
Mhm.
TSA Mexico.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, we continue, there's been a chain of emails back and forth with the Mexican Customs and TSA, the embassy representative in Mexico, but they have gone nowhere so far. But
Well, is there anything else that we could do as a community or something to promote it? Because I know it's, because in dealing with that, it's like high volume, I mean, not high value.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that the cost of logistics on an airplane in
Yes.
regards to trucking, and right now trucking from here to most destinations, especially Monterey's 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then they can go from there with customs free and clear without having to worry about the process here, because they take a secondary intensive.
Yeah.
But that information in hand, can we kind of promote it a little bit more? Because if not,
Yeah.
I mean, we've had it for what's that, 3 years, 4 years?
Yeah.
And there's a possibility that we're gonna lose that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna meet with your association by the end of the month, so we'll promote that. I mean, we're trying, but it's been tough. I mean, I don't know.
I know you said you had a marketing company that was supposed to
So they're
assist
actually
with
here.
that. Are they doing anything on that or no?
So
Yeah,
they're gonna talk
behind you.
about it right now.
We'll talk.
Yes.
Those are the marketing guys.
Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
so we started on that, so I'll touch more on that later on today. But yeah, I mean, I do think there's potential there, but it's not being utilized so
Sure.
far.
Thanks.
Okay, so moving on the private total passengers, you see the numbers have been picking up at 1,144 versus 1,089 last year. I mean, a slight increase from last year, but still not at the levels of 2021, right? I mean, we're still not the activity that we would like there. So moving on the grand total operation is what we just mentioned on the arrivals, 2,373 versus 3,183 versus 3,640 from last year, and 4,582 from prior years. So the activities is going up, but still not reaching the levels from prior years. On the fuel flow report, as we have more activity on the cargo side, you can see more gallons have been sold at 5 million gallons, and around 55,000 more in revenue generated as far as this year concerned. The delinquent report, we still continue with nothing on it, so everything has been collected so far.
On the
Yeah.
fuel flow, on the revenue side,
Yes.
is that actual net revenue, or, 'cause, I mean,
Yeah.
fuel prices have been up?
Yeah, that's
So if your
actually.
cost is up versus, so you're gonna get more revenue, but.
Yeah, well,
more
we get
gross revenue.
we get the same amount since it's a fixed cent per
Point
point
zero
zero
eight.
Oh, okay.
08. Yeah, it's fixed what we get. So,
Gotcha. All right.
but yeah, it's an actual number, an actual amount that we're getting.
So it doesn't matter what the price is?
Yeah. Somebody else is making the money, not us, unfortunately.
No,
but
that's-
somebody else is making money.
You're making
I can
money,
tell you that
fine.
much.
People are flying at least.
So now we move on the marketing report. So for that, I will hand it over to our representatives from Madison Avenue here, Jacob and Patty. So if you're gonna take over.
Hi, everybody. Do you want us to stand up here?
Yes.
So everyone can see us? I see some familiar faces from a previous board meeting, but also some new faces. We've met. But some new faces. Congratulations to all the new members. So I'm Patty Kirby, and this is Jacob, and we're with Madison Avenue Marketing Agency. We're locally based here in Laredo, Texas, and we help local organizations and businesses with marketing materials like websites, videos, photography, and things like that. So we've been lucky to partner with the airport, and today we just want to go over a few of the most recent projects. I won't bore you guys like last time with a very lengthy presentation about all the ins and outs of what we do, but I'm happy to answer those for anyone in particular who's still in the dark about those. Today we're just going to catch up with some of the recent occurring things that are going on for the airport. So a lot of the things that we've been doing as of late have been very video centric. So I don't know how much time you guys have. Most of the videos range like from 30 seconds to a minute, and we have one that's 5 minutes. Would you care to see them?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Do we have time for those?
Yeah.
So the first one of those, so the LRD walkthrough video, this one you may have seen played downstairs, where the luggage area is. This was just a very simple, general, this is how Laredo International Airport looks.
No false advertising.
It's working.
Professional waivers.
So this video is very general and it's a little bit lengthy. We have a shorter version that's condensed to just 30 seconds that's made for like broadcast and social media, but it's essentially this, just smaller. That one's just general. Obviously, it's directed more towards the passenger experience. And you'll see that one on all social media platforms as well as downstairs on the big screen. The next
And who's
one.
your target there? I mean, what do you call that?
Yeah, so that's for passengers. That's just to let them know about the amenities and how easy it is to get around the Laredo Airport. And if they scan that QR code, it takes them directly to the airport website, which there they have other things like the cost calculator that they can use, for example, and more in-depth information about the airport that they can read through. But obviously video is king when it comes to marketing, right? So we try to capture those things with like local content, which I know the airport never had before, with real people, and I think that really helps. But like I said, there is a shorter version to catch people's attention better on social media, but we showed you guys the whole thing. So that's more for the passenger
I
experience.
remember the last time you also had, you keeping some kind of metrics on this, are you following on that as well as you as a trend?
Yes, sir. Mhm.
An upward trend, downward trend?
There is an upward trend, yes, and we'll get to that. We have some more to share about that. The next video is about the FTZ. This is the longer video. This one's about 5 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, let me get to that one. That's
And I
on-
think this one was just on what you guys were talking about right now. So
that
this
one's
one might
on
interest
the
you.
YouTube channel.
This one was a big project. It's lengthy and it required a lot of specialized animation and video.
I'm Rick Gonzalez. I'm the VP of Operations for Janco International.
My name is Ana Rispe. I am the operation manager with the U.S. Custom Broker.
I'm Eric Bredesen. I'm the COO for Edward E. Lozano and Company.
My name is Luis Hinojosa, and I'm the president of Unitrade.
When your business depends on foreign imports to manufacture your goods, or regularly exports merchandise to foreign outlets, you need every competitive edge. That's why you need to take advantage of the Foreign Trade Zone in Laredo, Texas, for the safekeeping of your cargo and for considerable savings to your bottom line.
So the Foreign Trade Zone is definitely an avenue for these importers and exporters to grow their product into the U.S. or into the Foreign Trade Zone.
It's a competitive advantage to be an FTC operator and to have that tool for international trade for those shipments that are non-domestic that either going to Mexico or from Mexico to distribution in the U.S. So it's a competitive advantage.
A foreign trade zone is an area in the United States that the government considers to be outside the U.S. for duty and tax purposes. This means that any goods crossing the U.S.-Mexico border into an FTZ designated area in Laredo do not go through the formal customs entry process and are not immediately subject to import duties or taxes you would otherwise have to pay. Instead, these costs can be reduced. delayed, or even eliminated based on approvals and special procedures. The FTC in Laredo currently has 7 sites where goods can be imported and processed. Within these zones, imported parts and materials can be assembled, manufactured, relabeled, repackaged, repaired, and stored. Only when the finished goods leave the FTC are they then taxed. And by deferring these duty costs until after the finished product is shipped, your business can significantly increase its cash flow. Other immediate benefits to your business include potential local and state tax savings, lower overhead, larger profit margins, and an expedited supply chain. Additionally, the FTC can save your business money if your business is sourcing various parts and materials from different countries. Rather than paying the standard higher tax rate per individual part, you would instead only be subject to one lower rate for the final assembled product manufactured through the FTC zone. And the savings don't end there. If your business has a weekly entry of imported goods, you can also take advantage of merchandise processing fee reductions. When cargo crosses through a port of entry, the MPF is calculated based on the value of the imported goods, with a maximum value of $528. Now let's say you get 10 weekly shipments, and you have a maximum MPF of $528 per shipment. If MPF is applied to each load, you're paying $5,280 weekly, or $274,560 over 12 months. But if you get approval for the weekly entry, those 10 shipments are considered one single shipment. That would mean your MPF for the week would only be $528. Over a year, you can save almost $250,000. The savings add up quickly when you do business with Laredo FTZ 94.
The city of Laredo and the international airport are the ones that authorize like the area, because it has to be like within the zone to be able to be authorized for the foreign trade zone.
Very easy to do so. They are there all the time. Anytime you have a question, anytime you want to make a change, increase or decrease your FTZ area, it's a very painless process, and they make it very fluid.
Conveniently located on the U.S.-Mexico border, Laredo is the busiest port of entry in North America and the 3rd busiest overall air, sea, or land port in the United States. We're experienced in customs bonded warehousing and supply chain management solutions for international trade and can provide you with expert advice for navigating customs regulations. You'll get convenient storage for up to 5 years duty-free, protection from CBP supervision, and optimal logistical solutions.
Working with the folks at the Laredo International Airport has definitely been advantageous for us. The process is very quick, it's efficient, and it helps us, to work with our customers at the end of the day, and that's the goal.
Working with the Laredo International Airport is a great partnership. It is definitely helpful in growing your business. They're very easy to work with in setting up the FTC. They're very knowledgeable. They follow up with you in a timely manner, and they're just a great partner to have.
If your business is importing into the United States, choose Laredo FTZ 94 to reduce your business's costs and increase your profits. Submit our easy application by filling out a few questions to get started with your approval process and make Laredo FTZ 94 the home for your manufacturing and distributing business. Thank you for your patience. That was the lengthy one, but it's a lot of information. It's very dense. So that one has also been on the social media channels. We don't recommend it for social media because of its length, but I know for internal purposes you guys use it a lot, and it does well like on platforms like LinkedIn, not so much Facebook and Instagram. But that pretty much, obviously it's a different audience. To your point, all of these messages are targeted. Obviously that's not to the traveler like myself, right? That's more specialized. So the last one is specifically about FIS, the Federal Inspection Station, and this one's a lot shorter. The Binational Federal Inspection Station Facility, or FIS, is a $3.2 million investment by the City of Laredo for U.S. and Mexican customs operations. Its primary focus is pre-screening shipments exported by companies certified by ANAM through U.S. Customs. This dual inspection program simplifies the inspection procedures for various industries, reducing time and transaction costs at airports located throughout Mexico. The collaboration between the U.S. and Mexico is truly historic, and the Laredo International Airport, in collaboration with ANOM and CBP, plans to expand the dual inspection program in the future.
So that one's really brief too. So these are used across platforms. Obviously, you guys have a lot of use for them like internally, and I know these are used in your presentations and when you travel and conferences and things. But for the layman or laywoman at home watching, I think it does help to simplify a lot of dense information that when we see like reports and agendas, if we don't have like your same level of knowledge and familiarity with this, it really does help put it in layman terms. So when you're doing any type of presentations, like I said, conferences, it really helps to break it down for just the general viewer like me to get a little bit of insight. What does FIS really mean, right? What is a NOM? You know, how does Laredo play a part in travel and industry? And obviously these are very shareable educational tools that you could use not just among your board members, but also any key figures that need to know this information. When you're applying for grants, perhaps, and things like that that benefit the airport, these tools are very important. So as far as videos, before I move on, does anybody have any questions about these? Okay, I'm trying to be mindful of your time. We have a few photos as well. So the photo-driven messaging, Amazon Prime was the big one. So was it a week ago or 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
that we came at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was, that's the time when Amazon Prime gets here, Sunday morning at 5 in the morning. So you have to be here by like 4:30, waiting for the plane to arrive to get that landing shot, right? And then for the departure. So we were here with the night crew to capture these images. If you look on the airport's Instagram today, you'll see a little video recap of that. Of course, it's nighttime, so we can't change the fact that it's dark, no matter how many lights we put, right? But it's cool, it's authentic content. You see the work of the crews, the graveyard shift crews that work really hard on the grounds of the airport. And this is great evergreen content that can be used on social media throughout the year, right? Because it doesn't expire as long as Atlas Air is still bringing in Amazon Prime. I will say that that was very well received on social media. We just had to make the distinction for people who were like, oh, does that mean same day shipping? Because I know that's what I thought. But more than anything, the messaging that accompanies it, it talks about how Amazon Prime having faith here at Laredo International Airport on the border really is a testament to what this area offers. And it really makes people realize like, wow, if Amazon has their eyes on this, does that mean we're getting that facility everyone's been mumbling about? Is this a good sign towards that? I think it's a testament that big corporations like that have a lot of faith in our community. So I think that's very positive messaging, not just, on the business and corporate side, but also for just like the layman and woman watching at home. So we've captured a lot of content on that recently, as well as AutoPhone. Manny, do you want to explain about the AutoPhone building?
Well, that's
under construction.
Yeah, it is a building that is currently going under basically improvements as per the airport requested. I know I requested Madison to go in there and take shots because we really want to show how we're going to improve eventually, show the before and after. And that's one of the things that Madison is here for, right?
Yeah,
To
so
promote.
we're actually scheduled to go to this once a month. So next week is our next one for AutoPhone, again, just to capture those
That's
progress.
basically a remodel that we have a concept of a master plan of development here at the airport that's not been approved yet, but we have an idea of what we want the area to look like. So that's a first step in the right direction, that they're gonna renovate and the building is gonna look nicer, and hopefully it'll make an impact to the whole area, basically. On that, I also talked to planning about doing a study about an overlay here with the people in this area that live what previously was known the base, to see if we can reinvest some money of that with the overlay. But we're in the initial talks with planning.
Is it true that the Autophone building used to be the old military bowling alley?
Yes.
I think I heard that. That's like so
It is true.
mind blowing. Does it still look like that? Like, can you tell?
We have the plans for that. We have the actual drawings.
Awesome. That's really cool. That's really cool.
And Mr. Labra didn't play ball there, just for the record.
No, I wasn't that way. I didn't go there. I wish I
That's
had.
really cool. So yeah, so the Autophone, we're scheduled to go every month because that's gonna be a transformation that happens over several months. So we're getting the progress pictures once a month, and then at the ribbon cutting, be able to show the community sort of like the investment that's been, put in there to see this beautiful transformation of something that's gonna come back to help our community. So that's
So they've
the
been
end
leasing
game.
that building this whole time?
Yes.
Wow.
Mhm. So you
Could've
guys
bought
are getting
one
some
couple times.
behind the scenes stuff. We've also taken a lot of new pictures of the terminal and the different FTZ. These will probably not be seen publicly so much. Well, these will, but the FTZ ones are mostly for, I know, your presentations and things that you do with, when you travel and meet with people. So we like to help on that end too, with all the marketing materials that are necessary just to convey and give people, a visual image of what it is you're talking about. A lot of that stuff on your all's agendas it's pretty dense, right? It's it's very interesting but very dense. So sometimes pictures and videos help to tell that story in a much easier way.
These are some of the pictures from the FIS that Mr. Labra, I remember you had asked us to go that day.
Okay.
Also about the construction, and we're gonna hold off on that for some of the posts on the LinkedIn side
Right.
for later on.
Yes.
No picture of the Cheney going north?
Doesn't that happen around the time of Amazon Prime? More early hours? But I'm glad you said that, Jake, because speaking of that, and Mr. Labrador, I know the LinkedIn is a brand new account for the Laredo International Airport. So if you're on LinkedIn, you're encouraged to follow it and to track. A lot of these longer format videos are better suited to that platform. Obviously, we know best practices on Instagram and Facebook. Those videos just don't make sense on those platforms, right? Currently, we have the attention span of 1.7 seconds on social media videos. Yeah, we've been reduced to the brains of grasshoppers, okay? So we have 1.7 seconds before we just go like that. So obviously, we try to cater our videos on the social media side to be a lot shorter, 7 to 15 seconds maximum, and to have something that looks visually captivating where someone might be inclined to watch. So we save the longer format videos for internal presentations, corporate
I don't like
purposes.
that picture.
And of course, on the LinkedIn side, they don't do that because that's a different crowd, right? That's more of your business crowd.
Something that can be updated on the LinkedIn account, I would say would be internal employees or anybody that has a LinkedIn account to attribute their place of work, to go and say they work here, because before there wasn't in Laredo International Airport LinkedIn account, so they would need to go in there, update it themselves so they can attribute all the employees into that account.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not giving them any admin or editor permissions, it's just letting them know that they work here and they're part of the company.
Okay.
So other priority items that are just on the public side for social media pushes continue to be Amazon Prime, the cargo 24/7, the cost calculator, which like I said is on flylaredotexas.com, where people can go in there and calculate how much it would cost them if they were to drive out of town versus if they would just fly out from here. And also the direct flights, the 3 direct flights that come out of here. So those are just ongoing evergreen content that's constantly promoted. And to your point, sir, about the trajectory on social media. So does everyone here know the difference between marketing and advertising? Or should I cover that a little bit? So marketing, which is our specialty, it's making beautiful materials, making everything look pretty, make everything educational with correct information and value. We make the videos, the websites. But a website by itself, no matter how beautiful it is, doesn't mean anyone's gonna click on it. Social media, no matter how professional the pictures are, it doesn't mean anyone's gonna follow it. All of that can happen organically, but that's where advertising comes in. Advertising is different from marketing. Advertising is paid. Marketing is what you own. You own your website, you own your social media, you own your graphics, your photos, your videos, you own all these things. Advertising, you don't own the billboard company, right? You don't own the TV station, you don't own the newspaper. You have to pay to advertise on those platforms. So marketing materials alone can't get the word out unless it's organic. And I know for the longest time, we have been doing everything here organically. So based on that fact, it has been a steady growth considering that it's organic. There are still opportunities for more organic growth on social media with the help of certain city entities that maybe if they could be receptive, you know, collaborations and tagging, if you know how Facebook and Instagram work, are very important. I know the city of Laredo would be a great partner if they would share and tag. The CVB, Visit Laredo TX, would be a great one as well. And also we identified the Laredo Police Department as another one, and they have shown willingness to collaborate and tag. So we actually have a campaign to tell you about with them that's happening next week. But as far as paid advertising, the airport currently is doing a paid advertising campaign to help push their digital presence. So through Spectrum, they have invested some dollars to run some paid ads. So now stuff isn't just sitting here. Now we're saying, hey guys, we have a website, come click on it. Now we're saying, hey guys, look, we have social media, come click on it. Before it existed and it was beautiful, but now we're actually screaming it out to the public with paid ads. So that just recently started at the tail end of last month. So the analytics are still, you know, baby analytics because it's only been a couple of weeks, but we do see upward trajectory, and I mean, it makes all the difference, right, when you put a little bit of money behind it. So that's gonna do great for you guys. You know, the reason of choosing digital over anything else, that's sort of where we're at right now in this day and age, right? I mean, there's traditional media.
Who's your audience?
So the
I see
geographic
you said
area is right here.
Yeah, so I'm
Yes.
saying, who are
And
you
these
trying
are
to?
For travel intenders, these are to travel intenders. So people who do searches like going on vacation, you know, flight information, if they Google things like Mexico vacation, anybody that's travel intenders. Mm-hmm.
About commercial operations, are you?
No, these messages are not for commercial operations.
It's only
as
for
much.
Consideration, I know the FTC and the FIS is really a different target audience.
Mhm. It sure is.
This is
It
only
would
for
be a
traveling.
very different one.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I don't understand what we're doing here, because, I mean, if I'm gonna travel, and I'm saying, I'm looking at Cancun, because I know I'm either gonna go here, San Antonio or something, you know, so
Mm-hmm.
unless you had a package, you're saying, look, I can get you over here for this amount of dollars versus you traveling to San Antonio.
That goes
So the-
directly to the link to the carrier or whoever's doing it, right?
Right.
So the purpose
They go
of
to the
these is
website.
to get discovered. The purpose of these is just to get discovered. So people who don't know that there's a website, that they don't know that there's a social media, the purpose is to get discovered.
For what end?
Stuff coming.
So that they can use it as a tool, as a resource, and be familiar with the services offered here. If,
I mean, I
have
would
you
never
ever
use it.
been on FlyLaredoTexas.com?
Go to Google and Google does everything, right?
Why would I use it?
Well, we didn't make the website, but it is a valuable tool that I know it's important for the airport to promote. On there, it does tell you about airport security, parking features, it has the cost calculator, and it tells you about the 3 airlines. Unfortunately, hands are tied as far as being able to book tickets on there, because you do have to book tickets through American Airlines or United. You can't do
I
that.
don't know. I would never use it.
Never use what?
Fly Laredo,
website?
Texas.
Yeah.
The website or the internet?
No, website.
Oh, okay.
Use the internet all the time.
Again, I guess the website for now, it's not a e-commerce website, it's more an informational website.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And if there's information you need, like Patty said, about parking, baggage.
Hours of operation.
Hours of operation, staff, phone numbers that you need to reach, emails.
You know, they're gonna charge you $50 if you bring the oversized bag, whatever.
I think if the organization didn't have a website, I think that would be more of a problem. But I think every organization needs to have one, right?
The web,
Especially-
I'm sorry, the website, John, sometimes is used to provide information, like the master plan, also include the airport layout plan and things like that. When people are looking to get information for the Laredo International Airport, that also is included on that.
I can understand that, but that's not your target, I don't think.
No, that's a different
Travelers?
thing, that's for traveling.
Yeah, well, that's like,
Yeah,
I
this
don't
is
think
for the
in this
general
day and
public.
age, anybody's gonna do that.
Mhm.
I really don't.
Yeah.
Throw some controversy in there, man. In a bathing suit, and muscle pose, and get you on there, and commissioner and muscle pose.
That'll really drive the traffic away.
So are you familiar with geofencing? Have you used that before? Geofencing tactic, it's an advertising, it's a digital
Not in the
advertising.
advertising sense, no.
Yeah, so are you one of those people that has the electric fence around your yard that electrocutes your dog if it tries to get out?
No, just like that.
Okay. Well, geofencing works much the same way, except we don't electrocute anybody, right? But if you walk into any area with your cell phone, you probably have your maps open, or you probably have your weather app open. Most of us do. So that means your IP address is discoverable. So when you walk into said areas, your phone automatically gets pinged, and we take that IP address, and later within the next 30 days, you're delivered an ad. And you're...
I can't get away from them.
You can't get away from them, I know. But that's the world we live in. And since most people right now currently
But
engage
see, now
online...
this, I understand, I think, fly direct to Vegas, fly direct to Dallas, that's targeting, I
Well,
understand.
those are the ads that are on your
Yeah,
paid
but I'm saying,
advertising.
Do you have to
for the
walk in the
audience-
vicinity or just talk about it?
No.
How do you get those?
No,
Yeah.
these are if you fall within the parameters that we spoke about. So people who are travel intenders who do those searches and that live in our geographic area.
I'm saying, I'm not
But
just going to the
these
website, I
are
don't want
the
to know I
ads.
want to go to the website.
Well, all of the ads have to link to somewhere, so they would link to that. You need a place for people to land. If they're not clickable, then they don't do anything right.
Okay.
They're not
All right.
visible.
Isn't a direct
So
flight
these are your,
different versus a nonstop? Direct means like you can go and you stop and you keep going. A nonstop is an actual nonstop.
I know we've always used the terminology direct flight, but we could
Is
change
that
it if
correct?
it makes a
That's
difference for
correct.
you
Yes.
guys.
Yes.
That is correct. Non-stop and direct flights are
Are two
totally
totally
different.
different things.
Yes, yes, that is
People
correct.
fly, you fly from LA to New York, stop in San Antonio, they say, what am I doing in Texas? You know, it said direct, direct
Yeah.
means that you stop and then you continue, you don't get off the plane.
Yeah.
Nonstop is actually
I know,
nonstop.
in our previous discussions that we had in our meeting right now, we talked a lot more about commercial operations, and you said you're not really targeting any of that audience. How can we go ahead and move forward?
Correct.
Because, like you said, like we saw, FIS numbers are really low, and we're the only place in the United States that offer that. How can we promote that and include that as part of the package? So we
I'm glad
can,
you asked.
you know,
So that is definitely up to you guys, but I'm glad you asked. Like I said, remember marketing and advertising. So on the marketing end, which is our purview, right? We create all the marketing materials for FIS, for FTZ, the beautiful videos, photography, messaging that you saw, we've created that. But now it's up to you guys if you want to invest dollars that are not paid to us, by the way. This money does not go to us. I want to make that distinction very clear. These monies are paid to vendors like billboards, like TV, like digital vendors, where you can promote that. Now for this one that's already ongoing, it would be a shame to interrupt it after 2 weeks to change path. But if you all see that you like this campaign and how it works, and if at the end of 3 months you see a value in it, we could definitely look into renewing it and totally changing the course as far as changing all this messaging from something that targets public and travel intenders and change it completely to more of the corporate and business passengers and target those initiatives instead. So the materials on the marketing side, they're ready to go. You have your FIS, FTZ, everything's beautiful, ready to launch. Do you want to spend money, and do you have money to allocate in order to promote that? That's up to you guys.
Well, like on the FGZs, I mean, your market's not here though, is it? Your market's
no,
not
the
me.
market's outside, but the thing about there's better opportunities, but at the same time, there's people that are looking for it, especially corporations, large corporations, you know, and I think that we can kind of promote that, but I'm gonna bring that up after that, because that has nothing to do with you guys. you know.
Well,
Take into
Well, but the
consideration.
good thing is
Yeah.
these types of digital ads, you can target anywhere in the world. Regardless of where in Laredo, Texas, we can literally target anywhere on the earth that's on maps.
But the
So-
idea is also, that's why we ask for the LinkedIn account. The LinkedIn account is more into the professional, into
Yeah.
getting to more
Yeah,
cargo people.
I know, and right now,
That
I'm
will
just
be-
talking to important point with regards budget. Are we a budgeted amount, and how much is it gonna cost us? Because we have to go into that detail, which we
The
haven't.
travel is more into the social media, like Instagram, Facebook, and things like that.
But one thing, you said this is still in its infancy, 2 weeks old,
Yes.
taking into consideration that time frame. And I know that we're looking at this as an upward trend, and you're gonna look at it 3 months, you know, so we can kind of digest the information. Can you provide a report each month to us or to our?
Sure, we
to our
do.
teams?
I actually
find
just
out?
sent one last week,
Okay.
so they're available more frequently, but I would say at the end of one full month is the best time to kind of give it a fair chance. But we don't recommend anything less than 3 months, just in marketing in general. I've been a media buyer for 20 years, and anything less than 3 months is kind of like flushing your money down the toilet, you know what I mean? So we look at 3-month increments.
Can you explain the acronyms, IMPs? I know clicks is.
Impressions, yeah, cost per click. And so this is how much it's costing, more or less, for a person to click. This is the click-through
And
rate.
IMPs is what?
Impressions,
And what, an impression is what?
like people that see it.
They stop,
Eyeballs.
they stop for a second,
Correct.
You can determine if it's 1.7 or 1.8 seconds, right?
And also, did you know that we're moving into being able to track people's eyeballs?
yeah.
It's very real. So now when you look at an ad right now, we just tell you, oh, you had this many impressions. This is how many people got it on their phone. Now we're gonna be able to tell you where their eyeballs were looking on the ad and for how long.
TikTok can tell you.
The men look at different parts,
Yes.
everybody. and then
You were
it's-
asking about targeting with the other one, you know we can go as deep as targeting by health condition. So our medical clients really love that because we can go like, who has diabetes, who has this type of cancer? I mean, the level of targeting is so scary, it's so in-depth, but the sky's the limit is what I'm trying to say. So really, whatever you all decide is your prime goal, just let us know, and we can provide you guidance on how to execute that. But essentially, we just turn to you for telling us this is who we want to target, this is what our end goal is gonna be, you know, for example, FIS or, you know, business, and we can shift gears and definitely provide you some solutions for
And
that.
CTR?
Click-through rate. So click-through rate,
And
so that's how many people click it and go to the website.
Okay.
Click-through rates are usually 0.0. They usually all start with 0.0. So the fact that you don't start with 0.0 is actually extremely healthy. Now remember, with digital, you want to manage expectations. And what you have here invested is a very healthy amount, but nonetheless, we live in a city of, what, 350,000 más o menos? So, give or take. So obviously there's no way to blanket that, right? But the goal is that the people that we do target fit the criteria that we've specifically allocated, and that each one of those people sees it at least once or twice, because that's how advertising
And a
works.
successful, how would you deem a successful, like on a cost per click?
Well,
You have a
what-
range somewhere,
how I
sure.
would deem it successful is once we compare it to the website analytics on the back end after at least 3 months. And that's what we see, what it's done, what people's behaviors are, because it'll also give us information as to what pages on your website people interact with the most. So let's say we find out at the end of 3 months that most people that land on your webpage tend to end up on the cost calculator. Then we're like, oh, people love this, let's promote it, let's put a button for it at the front so they find it quicker. Let's promote that
I
on
understand that
social.
part, but I'm saying, going in, you would say, all right, I wanna look at if I get to $1.35 per click, I think we're doing good.
Right, no, this is a very healthy campaign, and actually what we could do, to your point, is probably see if the vendor has comparisons to other regional size airports, because that would be where you can really do a apples to apples.
Yeah. And also, I mean, also speaking back to what it benefits people landing on the website. People land on the website, they go to the information, but they also, the vendors, the airlines are checking that information. And like you were saying, they may add some more flights. They compare the analytics of the website, getting people information going from Fly Laredo, Texas to United Airlines, to American Airlines, so to Allegiant. So once they see that analytics report, they'll start thinking of adding more flights and adding more services to Laredo International Airport.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, did you have a question?
I do. How much money are we going to spend on this 3 months?
$3,000 a month.
$3,000 a month on
That's
advertising?
what was budgeted. Mhm.
9,000.
Yes. Mhm.
9,000 total.
And that's pretty, you know, on the low end. Usually when we work with small businesses that do digital advertising, they come in at about $2,500 a month.
Uh-huh.
So just to put it in perspective, it's a moderate spend. I know that sounds like a lot of money. It is a lot of money by any stretch of the imagination. But just so that you have some point of comparison and perspective, small businesses usually invest about $2,500 a month to do these types of ads.
So how do you translate that into dollars for the airport?
Well, by
Yep.
so by going to the airport, like Jacob said, the page that has the airlines, you can click through to go book a flight through there. So if that's where the clicks are coming from, as opposed to just AllegiantAir.com, the ones that were sent through there, it's something that we can measure at the end of the campaign and tell you. So now when Manny says, or Gilbert tells us in this agenda, that Allegiant's doing better than ever before and they're so happy and they want to add an additional flight, you all can take some credit for that and say, well, a lot of a big percentage of these clicks came from this campaign where people went and clicked through to there.
Yeah.
So we're really helping your company, Mr. and Mrs. Allegiant, to help boost and keep those numbers healthy here in Laredo. So we're being a good vendor, we're being a good airport.
Yeah, the only way would be through the follow-through, right? It's not,
Yeah, so
because you don't know
so
who's what.
unfortunately, we have to, it's a little wait and see period, right? We have to let it take
No,
its course and simmer, but this is the first time that we've had a paid campaign like this. So remember, before it was just all marketing, everything's pretty, everything's here, but now there's
You give them to
dollars.
give some sort of discounting, 1%, whatever, if they go through the page, you know?
Now there's dollars allocated, so this
Yeah.
is wonderful, because now we're saying, visit us, follow us, click on this, click on that. And so that makes a big difference, right? I always tell people, compare it to a party. If you're having a party at your house, the marketing is, you're gonna clean your house, you're gonna buy a cake, you're gonna get some beer, you're gonna get some food, that's marketing. Advertising is when you send out the invitation and the text and the call and you're like, come to my party. Hey, I'm having a party. Hey, I got some cake, some beer. Come on over. So now that's what we're doing with advertising. Prior, we just have all the marketing materials. So this is a really cool step to see. We're sort of in the guinea pig stage right now, right? Like I said, it's 2 weeks in, but depending on the results from this, it'll be very telling and it'll provide some guidance to you guys as far as like, what do you want to do next? How do we adjust our sales? Do we continue with this or do we want to switch gears? So, but up and coming, I wanted to end on the note of actually today, later today, we're beginning our next project and speaking to the social media growth and things. Laredo Police Department, which as you know has a very healthy social media presence, has been in talks with your airport administration about their willingness to sort of be on collaborations and tags since the PD has a presence here at the airport. I know they help us a lot. When we come out to do shoots, they help us get to and from the airfield. So we're gonna film a little campaign with them this afternoon, and next week with it being Police Week, we're gonna show some of those videos, and the point of them is just to show how secure the airport is, a little bit about a day in the life of a police officer here at the airport, kind of give it like a docu vibe, like a documentary vibe, like something Netflixy, if you will. But the point of doing those is that by collaborating and tagging the police department, that should hopefully bring some followers to the airport's page, since they already have heavy traffic on their social media pages. So it's a good collaboration, not just because it's Police Week and it's feel good, and, for the morale of the police department because they do so much here, but also it's beneficial to the airport, being a fellow city department, being able to increase their views to the public. So that's what's happening later this afternoon. But that's all for us. I'm sorry we took so long. Does anybody have any questions?
Could you explain to them what do you mean by organic? Because that's the question that I ask.
Okay. Organic growth. Organic just means there's no money behind it. So it just happens organically. So like word of mouth, people that were just...
Besides the website. Yeah, you're not advertising.
Correct. There's no advertising. So that's organic. In a nutshell. There's just no paid advertising to say like, hey, do this, do that. It's just, it's there, and but it looks really nice.
You didn't boost your post or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. In simplest terms, yes.
Just in reference, I know that we're just an advisory committee, we report to the council. Have you presented this to the council as well, so they know what they're spending money on?
We have not been invited to council to speak on that, but.
No, not yet. It was just a pilot program right now.
Let's
That's
see
3 months.
Some response,
Yeah, and we'll see what we're gonna get on 3
I
months.
know that, we're great information. I think you'd be willing to share with the people that actually get the money out of it.
Well, and if I'm not mistaken, the money comes from a special grant that's specifically for $100, right? For the airport, so this does not come from this.
Yeah, but we want to expand it.
If you want to give me a heart attack and make me public speak in front of everyone. Thank you for
Take the
being here.
$500,000 we were giving to Aero money and give discount, and you drive them through the pay.
We do have some money for
The things we could
advertisement.
do with $500,000, are you kidding me? And the money doesn't even go to us, but yet it makes me so excited because I'm like, ad dollars. We love doing that for our clients to be able to get these beautiful things that we worked so hard on, like out there so everyone can see them. But if there's no other questions, then thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Joe, I have a couple of observations. One of them is in regards to your concerns about the business, the FIS, FTC and all that. We do have a grant of money that we don't have to wait 3 months to do advertising on them. We do have money for that. So we can have both campaigns at the same time. We don't need to wait for this one to start with the other one. That's one thing. The other thing that I wanted to mention to you all, I'm sure some of you saw the video that the Wall Street Journal made about Laredo.
Yeah.
It went viral. I don't know how many people saw it on WhatsApp, but well, first of all, congratulations. The presentation was great.
Did you guys see that? The Wall Street Journal?
No, this presentation.
No, I was thinking that. Oh,
No,
yeah, I
no,
was thinking
no.
that.
The presentation that you made, the content of the videos, the quality is amazing, but there's one thing that really, it's very frustrating for me. The video that you guys have there on YouTube, the longer one, has 43 views.
Oh yeah, YouTube is not promoted. YouTube is
So,
just.
but I just went and checked on the video that the Wall Street Journal made, and they have 273,000. So out of those 43 people that have been there, maybe half of them are here, the other half is the people that were interviewed. And I mean, it's like, what can we do to make that video, because it's great, to make that video viral, you know, to make it
But
helpful.
you didn't think that video was very simplistic for?
I liked it.
For somebody like you that you're saying, hey, I wanna find out about this program. Somebody that's in that business, it seemed very simplistic for me.
And it gets down into the weeds a little bit more, but I think it's kind of helpful in one aspect. And I know that you guys have been, like, we just had an association conference with over 800 people that deal with FTZs. And I mean, I was surprised that I should have been more vocal with you guys here, taking consideration of my position. But we could have, you know, marketed that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I know that there's NAFTZ, National Association of Foreign Trade Zones. Do you guys go to that and submit that video or show that video or have a booth or do a presentation? Because that's a big target audience.
Yeah, it is, and we're keeping an eye on that conference, and I'm also looking into getting an FTE position for just foreign trade zone. I think that's a low-hanging fruit here in Laredo that we have not. We have not take advantage of it. We have 47 people sign up to that program, and I think it should be a lot more than that.
And just to share, I mean, just me, myself, I use an FTZ, and it's, the guys I use, they're actually the owners of the Astros. They weren't even included on there, so crane operations.
Oh, yeah, we got
and
those.
they're huge. I'm taking a big portion of their warehouse out right now, but I know there's a huge opportunity, especially dealing with some of the opportunities that we're missing out, like you said, low-hanging fruit. I want to sit there, see how we can kind of promote that, because I have another conference next year, but at the same time, we have another one in December, and I could push some detail, even if you're there or, you know, if I'm there, knowing, having the knowledge of the FTZ process, you know.
That's why I think we need somebody dedicated to foreign trade zone only.
But, and I think that's why I thought it was simplistic. You should have, who's in Laredo already? Boom, 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 boom.
If we are concerned about that, I think we should start, my suggestion is to start with the advertising campaign for that as well.
And that's immediate, but the only thing about it is, like you said, if we have funds for it, can we start tapping into that to start marketing it, especially utilizing our resources that we have here on a commercial operation?
We'll definitely look into that.
And is the Wall Street Journal video on the website?
No, the Wall Street video, that's their video.
Do we have a link to it? On the
Since you
website?
have that LinkedIn and then Laredo Airport, can we do that there? Just show the growth that we're having on there?
Yeah.
That's an opportunity.
All these
You're talking
things
about the
should have a
one
link.
that the Chinese companies are going to Mexico.
Yeah, the nearshoring.
That's the Wall Street
Not only
video.
Chinese, the Koreans, I mean, they're opening up out there in Monterey.
Yeah.
Huge industrial parks, man.
All the nearshoring.
Yeah.
That was a nice video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll look
them
into
all.
that definitely. And no.
I know we're short on time, we already exceeded our time there, but can we do Cliff Notes version and see how we can get along so we can move along with it? and
Yeah,
Get
sure.
up to our agenda items?
Yeah,
Thanks.
we'll do that. Okay, on the status of construction, Mr. Labrada.
Mr. Chairman, we continue working on the construction on our airfield. The taxiways, Gulf 1 and Gulf 2, they're almost done. We're about 87, 89%. We finished with the concrete, and we're just doing all the markings and painting and cleaning and the joints. For the next meeting, also, we're going to include, we also started a new project, the taxiways Alpha and H1 and H2. So that's another project that we're going to start. And in about 2 weeks, we're also going to go on bids for another taxiway project. That's going to be for, we call it Taxiway 3 and Taxiway 5. So we'll keep you posted on all the new projects that we have in our airfield. That's my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. On general staff comments, on the last meeting I told you that we haven't been able to get a meeting with Viva Aerobus, and thanks to board member Mr. Benavides, we got an email from Viva Aerobus. Also, we're coordinating a meeting with them, and also there's another airline, a small airline that just started from Mexico. They fly basically small nine seaters, or I believe they also have 19 seaters. They fly from Monterrey to several regional places. They're interested in operating from Laredo, so they're coming this Friday to meet with us. So for a route from Laredo, Monterrey, offer some type of package there for the business travelers from Monterrey. So they're coming this Friday, and Viva Aerobus, we're still coordinating that meeting. So maybe we're making little progress there.
It's huge because I know that private aircraft cannot bring in commercial shipments.
Yeah.
through customs, it has to be a commercial carrier.
Yes.
Unless they have there's some kind of coding that they use, so that would be very beneficial, taking consideration coming from Monterey. So.
Yeah, so we'll look into
They're
it.
flying 135 or what are they flying?
I don't have the serial, but yeah, it's a small plane.
No.
The-
Commercial.
Oh, commercial,
It has
yeah.
to be commercial. It has to be
It's
135.
commercial, part 135, it's for passengers.
Huh? Yeah, it has
This
to
is
be
for
one-
passengers that
Yeah.
Has to be
don't want to drive to
135,
Monterrey, they want to fly.
So it's just an air taxi, they can't bring in commercial, you can't bring in private?
Yeah, you can't be private carrier. It has to. And I just been arguing.
There's
that.
some requirements, like American and United, they do have some cargo there in their belly. I don't know
Like
about this.
NetJets
but-
can't bring cargo?
I don't know. I gotta look into that, but I know that.
It depends on each one, you know, it's like an extra permit or something that.
It's a different requirement that's required for commercial.
Yeah.
But I know in the sake of time, one thing I'm taking into consideration our comments that were made earlier, I wanted to
Yeah.
also get a monthly report. We have our next meeting as well, see where we're, how we're trending to see how, you
Yeah.
know, what we gotta do to tweak it out a little bit, so.
Okay. So moving on to the action items, this is just, won't read it just for the sake of time, but this is just an item that we need here. I don't know if it's an item for Chief De Hoyos. It's basically all the cameras, all the access control and everything. It's just the second annual contract that we have for maintenance basically with this company. It's a total of $54,896, second year. Right, Chief De
That is
Hoyos?
correct.
Just
Mr.
basically for
Chairman,
the
it's,
cameras?
It's a preventive maintenance contract. So basically, the Convergent Technologies company comes around and touches each piece of equipment around the entire airport, just to make sure that it's operating, that they kind of dust the panels, especially outside, all the cameras that are outside, they tend to get, you know, spider webs and all kinds of stuff. So they'll come out here, they'll vacuum them, they'll clean them, they'll touch them, they'll make sure they're operational.
How often?
They do it, this first time they did it twice in the year. This time they're gonna do it once, because they just showed up about 2 months ago to do that whole maintenance.
Once for 54,000?
Well, they do a bunch of other stuff. They're also maintaining our equipment as well. Like I said, it's preventive.
Is this starting for the fiscal year coming up and?
With all the DVRs and everything?
Yes, everything, all our recorders are now. It started
to
last year.
approve. Huh?
It started last year, sir.
It started last year already.
Yes, sir.
First, John, second, Ms. Cortez. All in favor? Any person need discussion, any further discussion? Okay, all in favor? Any opposition? Motion passes.
Any requests from the board members for next meeting?
Other than those.
Well, no, besides that, I took notice that, I don't know if it's something, a service that the airport provides or if it's their airline, but on the last flight from Las Vegas yesterday, the day before yesterday, it took 40 minutes from where the airplane landed to where they delivered the luggage.
Oh.
40 minutes. The people were waiting outside for 40 minutes. So I don't know if it has something to do with the airport.
When was
or
that?
if it's the airline.
Sunday?
3 days, yeah.
That was Sunday.
Sunday, yes.
That was Sunday.
Sunday, yes.
It took 40 minutes?
Yes, I took time.
From the airplane,
I was
to
waiting.
deliver to the
From
car?
debarking to-
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Planing.
It's
40
a
minutes?
lot.
That is a long time.
It's
That's a long time,
Yes.
Yeah. So I was
gonna ask about Allegiance, are they usually on time?
They've been doing good lately, not as bad as they used to be with the MDs.
Because they have
That
a
was an
stigma.
operational.
They have a stigma that
They're
they're
still,
not on time. And every time I
they're
hear
doing
it, I
okay,
hear
but they're
that.
still
Well, they're never on
cutting
time,
it
I don't
short.
wanna do that.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to change that around. Because, and of course, you can't get, people when they get here, they wanna get their luggage and get out.
Yeah.
Don't give them an excuse to complain, because it's very important for people. I don't have a problem driving to San Antonio to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
Only but if things are on time and everything's going good,
Everything's
why would
good
you wanna do that? You're
so
right
far.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing better.
Yeah, they're doing a lot
I
better.
mean, I know that was a very bad publicity that they got back in the day, but I think that's when they got when they had the MDs operating. That was more of an operational thing with Allegiant. Now that
But it'd be
they have
good to
another
do a
plan.
comparison. Look, you know what, 2 years ago, this is what it was.
yeah.
This is what it is now.
Yeah.
Let's show people, let's tell people that it's on time.
And we can promote that.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
doing pretty good.
Well, of course. I mean, that's what it's all about. And,
Yeah, no, we'll definitely look into that. I'll talk to the Allegiant manager, see what we can do. What was the delay on that 40 minutes? That's a long
well,
time.
that's very important.
Yeah.
And maybe you need to put a clock on it. and then see it improve. Because how do you know when it improves unless you go over there and?
And it's part of the service that we provide.
Heck, it's.
And can we like enforce it with like some kind of penalty, say, hey, you guys gotta do something on there, or is that?
What would it be, what would it be, what would it be,
No, in this country, next flight.
what would it be a good time for you to wait for getting your luggage?
15 minutes.
15 minutes?
Yeah.
I would say 15.
You know, 15, 20, when I get from
20?
American, I get down here at 15, 20, I get,
15, 20,
by the time I get here,
20,
I got 5 minutes and I can get my car.
It
and
takes
drive it
you
up, man.
5 to 10 minutes to deplane everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, by that time, they should already have those cars full.
Yeah.
So I would say 15 minutes.
So by the time you are there, it will take 15 minutes. You want 15 minutes is a good time.
Well,
It's a
you're
good
already
start.
adding all the minutes.
All
that
the
they-
planning.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah,
Most
we
major
call-
airports, you go down, by the time you get to the baggage, which sometimes takes a long time, you know, it takes you 10 or 15 minutes, but your bags are getting there at the same time you are.
Except Atlanta.
Yeah, that should be.
Yeah, there's all the airports that it take you 20 minutes to get to the baggage conveyor,
Yeah.
and another 30 minutes to get your
So-
luggage. I mean,
But I mean, that
So
place
that
is
should be the goal.
also, could be 2 miles from the
So
baggage
if you
terminal.
Yeah.
take 40 minutes to
Exactly.
20,
When
that's
here-
We
a
already found out why. I'll have
Chairman, if I
the
may,
oil here.
So, as you might know, Allegiant is not, they don't have staff stationed here at the airport, right?
Yes.
So they're coming from different locations, wherever they're part-time jobs or what have you. So this past weekend, this past flight, I remember the manager saying that they were a little short-staffed. The people that they thought were gonna show up didn't show up. So not only do you have the personnel that are removing the bags from the aircraft to take to the belt, they also got the same type of staff
Double
that's
duty.
trying to put them onto the aircraft.
Double
So they're
duty.
shifting people around left and right, and they weren't fully staffed. I know
That's
it's not
not
an
acceptable.
excuse, but you know that's basically.
But
what
that's
it is.
hurting them.
It
And
is
if you,
hurting,
unless somebody
yeah.
says something, you know,
Yeah.
you know, it's one of those things you've gotta say it.
All the
so they
people
can
went out
improve it.
extremely mad. You know,
Yeah.
I saw them.
Yeah.
40
So-
minutes is a long time.
So-
Especially
It
when you
affects
got
the
your
airport.
kid out there
Even though it's
trying to
the
get through the,
airplane's
you know,
fault, it
No,
affects-
park,
it affects
and
everything.
everybody
Yeah.
wants them to
Yeah,
move.
it's the airport.
And you're over here
It's the
waiting
airport,
for your
yeah.
bag.
Yeah.
So it creates a chain of events.
Yeah, I don't remember which, it was, I think it was a Sunday night, and the Legion came in, and the same thing, and everybody was parked, and I came out,
Oh, yeah.
and I couldn't get through
Yeah,
because everybody parked and
yeah,
nobody's
waiting
moving.
for it, yeah.
And I had to call, it was
So
what
we do,
Keith was
we
here,
try
and I
to,
called
we
Keith
try
and
to
said,
keep the
"Bullshit."
center lane.
And he got the cops out there and
But
said,
you'll
sorry,
always
you
have
have
that
to go
one
around.
person that, you know, stops in the middle.
It creates a
try to
chain
lower.
of events, and
that's
that
what you
leads
said,
to
yeah.
catastrophic failure.
Yeah.
So unless you say something to improve it.
Noted, but I take your time and I'm running real close, I gotta get going as well too.
Yeah.
But, I know we had discussion last month as well in regarding to the tower, any information on that or no?
On the tower?
Yeah, because you're
operating
time frame, yeah?
No, I mean, they're still operating from 6 to
midnight.
12. Midnight.
And can you get that, I know that we're just working on getting 30 minutes based on the time, so
Yeah.
can we try and get that or see, I just wanna push that monthly because I know I've been a victim, so.
Yeah.
Wanna make sure, yeah.
Yeah, we'll send emails out there and try to lobby for more money for the tower.
Yeah.
That's basically all we can do since it's an FAA
Go ahead
operated
and
tower.
pick the name off.
Yeah, just put him down as.
Ask for more money here and make
We're
sure
gonna
that
start with one letter at a time.
that Melissa tells her boss.
Maybe we should develop a partnership with the county that can help out.
We put a request, Melissa.
No vote.
Second?
Melissa, put a